Leanne Battersby's tumultuous personal life takes center stage in Coronation Street next week, as she faces the fallout of her misguided revenge plot against her ex-partner Nick Tilsley and her sister Toya Habib. After her scheming blows up in her face, Leanne finds herself at a crossroads, grappling with strained family ties, guilt, and her lingering anger. The events ahead promise to shed light on Leanne's state of mind and whether she can repair her fractured relationships, or if her grudge will consume her entirely. The trouble began when Leanne discovered that Nick and Toya had rekindled their relationship behind her back. Feeling betrayed, she concocted a plan to frame Toya for fraud, hoping to exact revenge and sever their connection. However, her manipulative scheme was quickly uncovered, leaving her exposed and humiliated. Instead of achieving closure, Leanne has only deepened the rift between herself and those she once held dear. In the wake of her failed plan, Leanne decides to make amends with Nick's son, Sam, who has been caught in the crossfire of her bitterness. Guilt-ridden and eager to mend fences, she treats Sam to a milkshake in an attempt to reconnect with him. However, her efforts take a sour turn when she starts making snide comments about Nick and Toya. Unable to fully contain her resentment, Sam, ever perceptive, quickly grows uncomfortable with Leanne's negativity. Pretending to receive a message from Nick, he makes a hasty exit, leaving Leanne to stew in her emotions alone. This moment underscores the extent of Leanne's struggle to move past her grievances, as even a child like Sam recognizes the toxicity of her behavior. Left to her own devices, Leanne begins to reflect on her actions. Sitting alone and staring into her drink, she contemplates the consequences of her vendetta and whether it's worth continuing down this destructive path. It's at this moment that Tracy McDonald enters the scene. Tracy McDonald, known for her own history of scheming and strong opinions, had previously encouraged Leanne to seek revenge against Nick and Toya. However, seeing the toll it has taken on Leanne, Tracy now changes her tune. Spotting Leanne in her moment of introspection, Tracy offers some uncharacteristically sound advice. She insists that Leanne should consider herself lucky to be free of Nick and encourages her to move on with her life. Tracy's perspective comes as a surprise, given her earlier support of Leanne's vengeful mindset. But her words carry weight. Could this unexpected pep talk be the wake-up call Leanne needs to turn over a new leaf? While Tracy's advice makes sense on the surface, it remains to be seen whether Leanne will heed it. Her anger and sense of betrayal run deep, and letting go may not come easily. The idea of moving on might feel like surrender to Leanne, who has always been fiercely determined and unwilling to back down from a fight. At the same time, continuing her vendetta could come at a high cost. Alienating Sam, Nick, and Toya further would only isolate Leanne more, leaving her with few allies and an increasing sense of regret. The question remains, will she finally choose to let go of her grievances, or does she have another scheme in mind to settle the score? While Leanne grapples with her inner turmoil, her sister Toya offers some insight into the dynamic between the Battersby siblings. Speaking about their fraught relationship, actress Georgia Taylor shared her thoughts on whether reconciliation is possible. "They have been through so much, but this is next level," Georgia admitted. "The way things are going, it's going to take a very long time. But I really do hope they can come back together." Despite the current animosity, Georgia remains optimistic about the sisters' bond. "Things are definitely not great in the Battersby camp, but I think that ultimately there's just too much history there to not have them back together." This sentiment suggests that while the road to forgiveness may be long, the deep connection between Leanne and Toya could eventually triumph over their differences. However, that outcome depends on whether Leanne is willing to take the first steps toward reconciliation. Leanne's storyline is a classic example of Coronation Street's ability to delve into complex emotional territory. Her journey is as much about her relationships with Nick and Toya as it is about her own personal growth. The coming episodes will challenge Leanne to confront her flaws and decide what kind of person she wants to be moving forward. If she chooses to heed Tracy's advice, Leanne could begin the process of rebuilding her life and mending her fractured relationships. Apologizing to Toya and Nick would be a significant step toward healing, though it would undoubtedly take time and effort to rebuild trust. On the other hand, if Leanne succumbs to her bitterness, she risks driving away everyone who cares about her, leaving her more isolated than ever. Leanne's confrontation with her feelings represents a potential turning point in her character arc. As a longtime resident of Weatherfield, she has weathered countless ups and downs, from romantic entanglements to family drama. This latest chapter in her life offers an opportunity for growth and redemption, if she's willing to seize it. Viewers will be watching closely to see how Leanne navigates this difficult period. Will she take responsibility for her actions and strive to repair her relationships, or will her anger continue to cloud her judgment? Whatever the outcome, one thing is certain. Leanne's journey is far from over, and the road ahead promises to be as dramatic as ever. As the Battersby sisters' feud continues to play out, fans can expect plenty of emotional moments and heartfelt performances from the cast. Leanne's interactions with Sam, Nick, and Toya will undoubtedly provide further insight into her state of mind and the potential for reconciliation. Meanwhile, Tracy's unexpected role as a voice of reason adds an intriguing dynamic to the storyline. Known for her sharp tongue and unapologetic demeanor, Tracy's advice carries a unique weight, and her intervention could prove to be a turning point for Leanne. Ultimately, the fate of the Battersby sisters' relationship and Leanne's journey towards self-discovery rests in her hands. With so much at stake, the upcoming episodes are sure to deliver the emotional depth and high drama that Coronation Street fans have come to love. As Leanne contemplates Tracy's advice, the question of whether she can truly move on looms large. Letting go of her anger toward Nick and Toya means acknowledging her mistakes and admitting that her actions were fueled by jealousy and hurt. For someone as headstrong as Leanne, such self-reflection doesn't come easily. Yet Tracy's candid words might be the push she needs to reevaluate her choices and seek a path toward healing. Toya, on the other hand, remains cautiously optimistic about the future of their relationship. While deeply hurt by Leanne's betrayal, Toya has a strong sense of familial loyalty and history with her sister. However, forgiveness is a two-way street. Toya might be willing to meet Leanne halfway, but only if Leanne demonstrates genuine remorse and a willingness to change. Nick also stands at the center of this tangled web. While his romantic reunion with Toya has created friction, Nick has shown he still cares about Leanne, especially for Sam's sake. The strain between Nick and Leanne affects their co-parenting dynamic with Sam, who has already experienced significant loss in his young life. If Leanne continues to lash out, it risks further alienating Sam, something she surely doesn't want. As the drama unfolds, fans will be watching closely to see whether Leanne makes the choice to break free from her bitterness and start anew. Can she rebuild bridges with Nick and Toya for the sake of her family? Or will her anger continue to burn, driving her further into isolation? One thing is certain: Weatherfield's residents won't be free of Leanne's fiery spirit anytime soon, making for an unmissable week on the cobbles.